Yes. I'm going to go ahead and record and get started because it's after 8. And I know Timmy has some good stuff to share. I didn't even make slides tonight because it was kind of the same stuff as normal for me. Timmy has slides. But just wanted to say, I know it's let's see, tomorrow is the last day of the month, and there are quite a few of you guys who have hit Success Club and beyond, and that's awesome. That's great. Some of you guys are like, it's close. So I just want to encourage you, don't give up. The clock doesn't stop until midnight tomorrow night. And so, you guys have until then to follow up, to reach out to new people. You can offer a sale to people you've been talking to. You can offer them like a $10 gift card, or a recipe book, or a free workout tank, or something. You can post something tonight before you go to bed. I'm going to give away something to the first 3 people that sign up in my challenge group by tomorrow night. You can do whatever you want to if you want to hit Success Club. And trust me, I've done it. Like, I've come in at that last hour and hit Success Club. So I know it can be done. I know Timmy's done it too. So, don't feel like and if you don't hit it, you're not a failure. It doesn't mean that you're not made to coach. It doesn't mean anything like that. But if that's your goal, I just want to encourage you, don't stop trying for it until midnight tomorrow night, okay? Because I know that you can do it. Team Cup, everybody should be registered on a Team Cup. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for that. So if you're not on one and you want to be on one, you've got to let me know. But let me know tonight so I can find you a team. But I think that most everybody on this call is on a Team Cup. I'm really excited about ours. Personally, like our little five team, we had a little call today. Well, I ended up going live and talked to them. But so, the purpose of that Team Cup is really just to come together, to share ideas, to encourage one another, to cheer each other on, to share objections, how you handle them, and to really just grow together. It's really like I've seen coaches really just blossom during Team Cup months because they are just really pushing alongside each other. And you are a team. So like if you are on a team, give it your all next month, because your team is relying on you to perform and to hit Success Club and to earn those prizes and those points and stuff. Okay. Other than that, I think that's all I've got. Next week, we are going to be on Melanie's team call. So we won't have this call, but I'll share the link for her call next week. Jade is going to actually be doing that one. So that will take the place of this one. And then the week after that, I've got some ideas. But anyways, so I will, this week too, I'll be checking in with you guys and seeing what training groups you want to do next week, because they all start next Monday. You guys that are in that Emerald to Diamond group, I think we're just going to keep that one going. Make it like a 60-day group so you can stay in there if you choose to. There's a Coach Basics if you want to repeat Coach Basics, which I highly suggest you do if you don't feel comfortable. Yeah, I did Coach Basics like 2 or 3 times, honestly. And so, yeah. So there's no shame in that game. Like, I think it's a really good idea to build that foundation. And I don't know, you just kind of, because you grow a little bit each month and you take different stuff away from it, and you just grow in your comfort and your confidence, and it helps. I really think it helps to go through that again. So that's all that I have right now. That's all. I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to Timmy because I know she has stuff to share. So you can share your screen, Timmy. Can you share your screen? Let me unmute myself.
Did you record?
I am recording, yeah.
Let me see. Oops. Okay, screen share. Okay. Okay, can y'all see my screen? Okay. Okay, so this was just my little slide that she put up. I said, getting organized for your social media. And so I'm going to share a little bit about how to help you get a little bit more organized with your social media. But the first thing I definitely want to say before I start this, do not, if you're like down to it, like, have you done your invites? Have you connected with people? Have you done all this stuff? Don't play with any of this stuff. You know, I mean, your most important is connecting with people and doing your invites and doing those basic vital behaviors. Because some of the things, I'm just going to give you some fun tips that kind of, you know, help with your social media to be it more attractive, but definitely don't, you know, spend your time doing that. So I just want to put that first and foremost. Some of the stuff is, you know, to plan. You want to definitely plan, but you definitely don't want to do this instead of doing your vitals. So real quick, I'm going to share the slide here. The cool thing about social media is, like, when you think about football and like the Super Bowl, people are paying millions of dollars to have a commercial and to have an ad. And so we don't have to do that. Our storefront, our social media is our storefront, whether or not whatever platform you're on, it is your storefront. And so that's why you have to make it look pretty. If you go into, you know, like a natural health food store, usually it's very brown and organic, and maybe they have lots of green and stuff like that on it, because they're trying to tell you that they're more of a natural and that they're, you know, all about the greens and organics. And so just like how people brand their business, we have to brand our social media. And so real quick, I always thought it was neat about the 3-scroll test. So like whenever you go to your social media page, you should use the mouse and scroll it like 3 times. And can people see that, you know, you offer value, you offer tips, you have challenge groups or something for them to join, and that you're a coach? They need to see those basic things in the first couple scrolls. If they see a bunch of shared things or a bunch of other things, they're not really going to know what you're doing. And then they need to see like you as a person too in all those scrolls. So that can get overwhelming, because I think, you know, you're trying to, like, I'm trying to post a recipe, I'm trying to post this, I want to talk about my ad, about my group, I want to talk about being a coach. And so it's a lot to do. And so that's what I decided that I was going to try to do this whole thing about getting a little bit more organized and plan out my month a little bit better. And that's what kind of brought this on, because I felt like I was all over the place posting different things. So you need to brand it to you, and that's what your social media is. So let me go to the next one. All right, so what I mean by like your brand, so your words, so don't copy and paste somebody else's. And I know it's sometimes hard, and I've done it too. So don't, like, if you've done it before, don't stress out about it. Just now let's fix it. So like, what I would see somebody say something and I thought it was super cool and it connected to me. So I'm thinking, well, it connected to me, so they're my words. I believe in it, but they're not your words. And so you definitely have to just kind of change it up. And so what I've done lately, and I'll share it in a little bit, is just like if I see something or a sentence that catches my eye, I may write that sentence down, but I don't copy and paste that person's whole thing, so that when I go back to redo that post, I'm not redoing all their words. And I'll definitely say I have done it before, just because I'll see something and it really touched me or it encouraged me and I want to do it again, but you're not doing yourself justice by using for somebody else's stuff. So your pictures, we've talked about this before. No stock photos of challenge packs. We want to see your face, your family, you doing it. Your font. This is just kind of neat that I think I do like little quotes on my Instagram page. And so people will message me like, hey, I like your little, I had someone call them Timmy-isms, because it's the same font and they kind of recognize it when they see it. I have the same little, my name and a little heart, it says Timmy on it, on all of them. And so I was just saying, if you want to be consistent about the fonts that you use, and they'll start to recognize that font and put it to you. Even if it's a picture of your food, I'd start to use the same font, and they realize that that's one of Timmy's recipes without them even having to like continue on, because I'm using the same font and I have like the same little heart. So you're starting to create that brand, just like people are familiar with that, you know, Starbucks logo. How you write there, I think Rachel does a cool thing where she does these little plus signs that kind of grabs your attention, or people use emojis or something like that. So I think that's interesting. Your logo, when I say a logo to a picture, I don't mean like a fancy logo. I mean like sign it the same way. Like I said, I have a little heart that says Timmy, and Rachel has hers that says her name on it. So just kind of stuff like that you can kind of think about. You could use a hashtag when you're doing it. We've talked before about call to coaching or coach life, or your team name is all different things. Think about your times that you're posting. And if you're consistent about different, I just threw up the times that I try to post around. If you're consistent, your audience begins to see you and you're not all over the place. They begin to know if they go on, they're going to see that post around that time. It's just all about creating your brand and organizing it. What are your hobbies? My personal ones are, I have some baking. Our family's all about football. We have movie nights and stuff. So think about the things outside of Beachbody. And this is like what I was trying to figure out whenever I was getting this organized. Your meal plans. Come up with a basic template and reuse it every time so it looks the same. So it's definitely, they know it's yours. Pick your colors that you like and be consistent with that. Of course, your story and why you're a coach. Just share, because that's just so important. That's just going to make you you. And so here are just a few samples of like what I meant by it. So like these are some of the images I use on my Instagram. The font's kind of similar. You see that heart. I use it for different things. And then the picture down there of one of my pages, I use a lot of breaking up my paragraphs with dots. So you begin to become more consistent about it. And this is definitely over 2 years. Nothing I did right in the beginning. This is well over time. I've played with different things, not liked it, not liked it. And not to say that this is perfect either, or that I wouldn't change it again, but just some ideas so you can kind of see what I mean, so that you're being a little bit more consistent about things. So the biggest thing for me was trying to figure out, I was all over the place posting different things. So figure out when you can work your business. So I have a little form that you can do and I can post it in the group, but it's kind of small to see. But I literally found this little like schedule your day from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. And so like I looked to see like when do I actually have time to post? I'm busy with the boys getting ready in the morning and I am busy in the afternoon and I can't post really good that time except the boys get on with me at one point. So you could, think about the times that you have available. It's your business. When do everyone's time is going to be a little bit different. Do you work full time? And then what do you have to do? When can you actually get on your phone? Some teachers can't get on the phone during the day. So you have to kind of figure that out. So how many times can you personally post? And then we always suggest 3 to 5 times a day, but figure out the times that work best for you so that you can plan it. So I shared this in the group just because it's kind of, when I saw it, it says what to post. So we always talk about find the things about you that you want to post. And so this little picture showed faith, family, fitness, fashion, and travel. So you have your 5 things. Like mine, I talk about my boys, I talk about football, faith, I talk about my dog. And so those are just different things that I have. And so once you have those things about what you are and what you're going to do, you want to figure out you don't want every post to be like, message me for the challenge group, message me. And I've done that before, thinking that if I constantly got them to say and see that they were to message me about something, that it would cause them to want to join more. And I feel like it didn't. It felt like more salesy about it. So I thought this was kind of cool. You're wanting to build interest in your challenge group. So one, you can share your journey about how you're doing and then what products you're using and being proud of the product. Give shout outs to your challengers and to your coaches. Give tips without saying anything about, join me now or anything like that, or just find out and say, here's a recipe. So you're adding value to them. Tricks that you use. I posted today about using a potato peeler for butternut squash and just talked about butternut squash. And it seemed to get a lot of traction about it. So, and it wasn't a, hey, if you want the recipe, message me. And sometimes I do that because it does create interest, but sometimes you're just adding free value. And then of course we always say, you want to do the actual invite. So it's kind of like all these other ones in the front are your little jabs, and then your invitation is your right hook, so that you're trying to say, okay, I've offered all this. Now, are you interested? So what I did was this is what I did in January. I made a list of all the different post ideas that I saw, and it doesn't have to be fancy. Use a notebook, use a Google Doc, try Evernote or notes on your phone. And so I said again, don't copy someone else's post. It will not be your post. If you like a post, jot down the few points that you liked about it and then reword it yourself. And I was saying, yeah, I've been guilty of it. I've done it too. So these are my list ideas that I try to make sure I touch upon on my social media. Recipe seems to be very popular for me. Shakeology objections, I try to hit those. Challenge group objections, if you're, vocal about it, then people are thinking the same thing and you're kind of answering the same questions publicly. Coaching objections, what you love about Shakeology, what do you love about your challenge groups, love about coaching. Definitely very important is sharing personal struggles. Live videos, so they can see your personality live, your goof ups, your regulars, how you react to different things. Your coaching tips was something that Rachel just suggested in the group, which I thought was a great idea, and business tips. And for me is faith. So those are like my list ideas. And so I have a Google Doc that I've been adding things to. I started off just with a notebook. And I have pages, I have recipes, different ideas, Shakeology objections, and I have a list, and I have a couple blank pages in there. Then my next title is just challenge group objections, and I write down everything that I've been seeing. And I just turned a couple pages, and then I wrote coaching objections, turned a couple pages. So it doesn't have to be fancy. I definitely start off with just a notebook. So when you're posting on your social media, just always have confidence. Believe that people are dying to know what you're up to. You are giving them a backstage pass to what you're doing. And that seems kind of silly because you always think, do they really want to? But I think if you go in with that mentality and you're excited about it and you feel like, I'm about to give them a sneak peek, they start to feel that same vibe. So I was saying, have energy and have excitement. If you're just talking like, hey, join my challenge group, you got to have those silly facial expressions, or just, it doesn't always have to be silly, but show your excitement somehow, put in some, uppercase letters, or show your excitement somehow how you would normally do it, how you would show excitement, not just how somebody else would. I mean, I tend to make goofy faces a lot. That's why I said that, but not everyone's going to do that. So here I said to get organized and share from your heart. And I felt like I was trying to do so much, and I had so much in my head that I wanted to do, and I was doing my workout, and I was trying to do a video, and I was trying to do a recipe over here, talking about my boys and stuff. And I felt like one day it'd be like 7 posts, and then the next day I was having a blank and I'd have 2 posts. You know what I mean? I didn't know what to post. So it was not balanced at all. And so it was kind of stressing me out. On good days, felt like I was rocking. Other days, I didn't even know what I was doing. So I kind of learned to kind of pick and choose and spread it out a little bit, because it feels like it's so much you want to do. So one thing I started doing is I have a notebook now, and it doesn't have to be something fancy, but I had this old notebook that this old planner that I tried to use, and it was too big. But now each night I try to think about, what all I need to do, and I write down those posts that I'm going to talk about. And I have actually done a large calendar for the whole month, but if that's overwhelming, just start thinking about it the night before, so you're a little bit more prepared. That doesn't mean you can't do things on the fly if something happens and comes to your mind, but it just helps you be a little bit more prepared. So again, I said you want to include all those different things that I had posted. And of course, you always want to post your public ad. Make a calendar, because that's me, because I need to see things spaced out. So I created this little document right here to kind of get myself started with it. And I typed it out so you can kind of see. But then that way I visually saw how many times I was going to post about Shakeology. I didn't want 1 week to be all about Shakeology and not talk about it for 2 more weeks. I didn't 1 week to be all about objections and then not talk about it again for a challenge group. That was my whole idea of it. So we talked before about a monthly marketing plan, and it's pretty much what Rachel shared in her calendar. And you just want to think about, when are you going to advertise, and what are you going to offer? Are you going to do a challenge group, or are you going to do a business opportunity call? So those are things you could write down on your calendar first and talk about those, because those help you. And so I had grabbed this from the back office, and it was just use 2 weeks before your challenge group to advertise, use 2 weeks before your coach opportunity, but figure out, what you want to do and schedule it on your calendar. So I just grabbed those real quick. Give it a theme if you want to for different things. So, a lot of people are doing Love Yourself in February, just to kind of help keep your consistency in branding. For your social media posts, we've talked about this often, about try to be creative, use photos, bright photos, eye-catching fonts and colors. And there, if you have your font that you like, you can always add that. And then the basic post every day. This was another extra thing, add blog posts and stuff, but I thought I'd add that. So this was like Rachel's calendar of what she's doing for her team. You can see her team call is on there. You can see she's got her plans for coaching, and then you got your jabs for challenge groups when she's going to be away. So I mean, she's got this all mapped out. So now you kind of know what you're going to talk about those weeks. So I think that's great. The challenge group ads are on Sundays, and you just definitely see like where you're going. So I think sometimes we put our challenge group, we have it set, but then we actually forget to use that time 2 weeks before to actually advertise for it. That's just as important. So here's a breakdown of some of my things that I did. So just to kind of give you guys some ideas. I said something about hope. Most of my morning workout is more touched on a devotional. Heart would be like your family or your personal, definitely share your personal journey. My baking is part of it. It's kind of a throwback Thursday type thing. My health would be like all the different things we do for Beachbody, recipe, shakes, transformation, meal plan, meal prep, grocery shopping, and then our challenge group ad. The hustle, I used a hashtag because I wanted to talk about the business. So business tips, objections, and the organization. How do I stay organized? What do I love about it? On Thursdays, you could talk a little bit about income. Even though it's a passion of ours, we do make money with it. Little things that we got, like your office space. What does it look like? Does it always look like it's sitting at a desk? Is it sitting on, in the car? Is it at lunchtime eating your lunch? Obviously, we talk about business opportunity calls, and then even funny stuff like work clothes. What do you work in whenever you're on a call or something like that? I will say sometimes like all you need is Wi-Fi and a little heart and hustle. These are just different things that I was jotting down for me. GG for me means goal getter. My boys and I do a little goal getter tip in the afternoon every day. They do a little challenge question, and then I give like a little healthy tip of some sort. Ask questions. This is something new I'm going to do on Wednesdays. I've noticed that when I ask different questions, it tends to seem to get people to talk about it and make it it doesn't have to be fitness related. It could be, I have some planned out for this month just to ask them about different chores that maybe they have their boys do at what age and stuff, just to ask different things to kind of engage your audience a little bit more and not just always be about health, fitness, and stuff like that. And then a Rockstar Challenge, which I love that I got from Jade, was that just doing a Rockstar Challenger in shadow. I think that's a great idea. So, whoops. Well, that stinks. Let me see here. I don't know what happened there. Let me take that off. So I was just going to show. Let me see if I delete. Well, how many times is it on there? There. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So this was like my calendar. Now this is all drawn out. I mean, I wouldn't normally tell y'all I just did this for the presentation. I jotted it down on a calendar. So you can see I tried to talk about my workout devotion, and some days my heart is about my boys, and then the next day it might be about Emma, our puppy. On the next day, my heart is going to be about sharing a struggle and a victory. On the next day, it's going to be maybe something I learned from personal development. My next heart will be Fridays. My husband always has off in the afternoon, so we have a date night or maybe talk about something with our family. And then the little heart with the little lines through it was my health. So I wanted to talk about meal prep one day, my shake one day, Transformation Tuesday one day, a recipe one day. Give a little tip someday, whether or not it's, not necessarily on the video, but on just something printable. I mean, not printable, something as a post. Grocery shopping. So I definitely and then what I did is I just rotated them. You can kind of see like the next week is off a day and the next week is off another day. So I was trying to list it out. And now, I mean, like I definitely do not worry about typing anything like that. Just kind of jot it down on a calendar. I found this like little $2 calendar from HEB, and I've already started writing out like we're going to Vegas this week, and so I've already have it written out that I want to share about the snacks that I'm packing. And then I have one of my questions on Wednesday is going to be like what to do in Vegas, who's been to Vegas, and what's something that they might want to do that we need to make sure we get to. So I've already kind of started jotting down for February the different things I'm filling in that calendar. This right here was just kind of like a template and to make sure that I was touching on all those different things. So that was kind of like my main lead up to this is that I was just using write down a list of all the different things that, you know, you want to be able to share, and then take time to kind of spread them out and make sure that you're hitting all of it instead of it all being benched into one day or all being benched into 1 week. And that's all I got. So I will stop my share.
I think those are good tips. Will you share those slides in our page too?
Yeah.
Okay. I love the one, like that one that you had on there about like maybe creating like a, you know, like using the same colors. This is something I'm not good at. And I've been trying to go through my feed and just say, like, you know, like some people use the same filter every time they post a picture, or like you said, they use the same font on all their photos. You know, I've started putting that little Rachel J. Mitchell thing on there just for consistency. But like, even if it's just you write your email address at the bottom of your photo in the same font every day, or if you have a blog and you write your blog down there in the same font every day, that's consistency, and that creates a brand for you. And seriously, like, so like pick one thing. Like, will you choose one filter that you'll use for all your photos, you know, on Instagram? Or will you start putting your email address on all your photos? I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that. What do you think about that?
I think your name is like a good thing because you're branding you. So, I mean, my name is my website and stuff, but it's definitely just, you know, I mean, I created my little heart on PicMonkey. It's just a heart and it says my name on it. Wasn't, you know.
So like you don't even have to create a logo. Like if you just
put
like
not at all.
Jimmy Parks, you know, in the same font every day at the bottom. And like I even like gray mine out, you know, so it's not real prominent, but it's there. And people see it. So like I would, if you're aiming for consistency or branding and it all this overwhelms you, like just pick two things, you know, that you want to do this week, that you want to implement this week, and do that. And then then you just get used to it. You just get used to using that filter. And like, as far as your logo or your name or whatever in WordSwag, you can, like, once you edit your photo and you put the words on there, you click done, and then down at the bottom it says add a logo, and it'll ask you if you want to use text or image, and it'll pull up the same one every time. So you don't like have to go in there and type it out every time. You know, it just reuses it for you. So time-wise, you're not adding a lot in there. But it's, I think, like the people that I follow on social media, they brand themselves, you know, like they always use their images look the same. They post, you know, they're very consistent in what they post, and you can expect when they're going to post. So I think those are really, really good tips, because if people are going to follow you, they're going to, I mean, I think you need to mix it up and keep it interesting for sure. But you also want to give them what they're looking for, because people are going to follow you for certain, very specific things. So I like those tips. Does anybody have any questions about that? Anybody? No? Do y'all have questions?
And I agree. I definitely feel like over time, like I was saying in the very beginning, this was definitely like 2 years of kind of playing around with different things. So definitely, like she says, just like one thing. If you just want to write your font, you know, write your words in the same color, just write it in the same font, you know, just pick the one thing to start doing and kind of play with and stuff. Because I think just kind of, you say, you're kind of, what made me realize that is someone sent me a message and said, hey, you need to make this a Timmyism. And I didn't even really realize what they said, but it was the quotes that I do in the same font with the little thing. So it just made me think, hey, people actually do see that and stuff like that. So that's what made me realize that it does actually help. But it, you know, doesn't have to be all the different tips that I do. Take one and just go with it and see how it works.
Those are really, really, really good tips. I like it all. Does anybody want to add anything to it or ask a question or anything? Okay. All right. Well, that's all we got. And we have our Coach University call tomorrow night. And then I think that, like, Tracy, this would probably only apply to you, but we're going to do our Emerald to Diamond call Thursday night, because Carrie wasn't feeling good last night. So for those of you that are in that group, we're planning to do that then. But All right, guys. Well, thank you. And Timmy will share these photos. And seriously, like, don't let this overwhelm you. Just, just pick a couple things and go forward. Like before this call, I was looking at blog templates because I'm having somebody switch my blog from Blogger to WordPress. And like, I'm going to change my look again. That's not good. That's not
Okay,
good.
what are they going to do? You pin stuff on Pinterest?
Yeah, they'll copy it all.
Now they'll repin it, or are they going to have it linked to it?
It'll be linked. Yeah.
I'll have to get that information from you.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's not as I thought it was going to be crazy expensive, but it's not.
Because someone quoted me like crazy expensive.
No,
and I was like, okay.
Like a couple $100 tops.
Okay. Yeah, you have to share that with me because I'm a blog.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. Thank you. I will post the recording, and we'll see you next week. Okay. Bye.
Hi, guys. Thanks for letting me share.